Hi everyone, this is a video where I explain how to end your parties. It's everything that happens in that last 30 to 15 minutes. Talking to your client, collecting the check, extensions, getting out of there easily, all that stuff. So basically, there's four main things that happen at the end of your party. This is all in the laminated sheet, but I just want to explain it to you since usually the end of the party is when new people kind of get caught up the most because it's the time where you have to swiftly make your exit, and it's a little bit hard for new people to kind of push their way out. The first major thing, which should be 30 to 15 minutes before you leave, is asking for an extension if the client needs it or notifying them that you only have that much time left. The second thing is cutting your line, especially for face painters, balloon twisters, temporary tattoo artists. You're going to have a line even when you're trying to leave, and you got to get rid of it. The third thing is collecting the check, which in my opinion is the easiest, but people get the most intimidated about. And the third thing is checking in the office from your car as you're leaving the gig. Basically, the way you can set yourself up for success is be conscious of when your last 30-minute mark hits for your party, right 30 minutes before you're supposed to leave, kind of assessing your situation. The easiest way to keep track of 30 minutes is just setting an alarm on your phone. I normally am checking my time throughout the party. It's a good habit I got into to see how long I'm taking on faces. And I just put it right there next to me in my kit and just kind of hitting the little on button all the time to see what time it is. But I know some people here like setting an alarm for 30 minutes before their gig is up. At this point, you can kind of see where you're at. To start, I'll just use the example of a balloon twisting glitter tattoo party because it's a pretty common party type. You have 30 minutes left out of a 2-hour party, and you finish balloons, you're about to hit glitter tattoos, and there's like 20 kids around. That's a pretty good spot to be in. But let's say you only have 30 minutes left, and your alarm goes off, and there's still a bunch of kids at the party that you haven't balloon twisted for, and you still have to get to glitter tattoos. Two things happen. One, you were too slow at balloon twisting, or two, a bunch of extra kids came to the party. If you were too slow at balloon twisting, now's the time to bust out those fast designs. Same with faces. We have those laminated speedy menus, and that's the time to chuck it onto your table. But let's say 5 extra kids showed up at the party, and now there's too many kids to get through everything. Basically, no matter what, you're kind of in a jam. Now, 30 minutes before your party ends is the time to ask the client for an extension. Remember, you have 2 things in your kit to help you. The first are these little speedy menus to throw out. The second is your laminated sheet. So 30 minutes, just tell the kids who are still in your lane, hey guys, I have to talk to the birthday mom really quick. You met her before. I'm also using the birthday party mom because I'd say 80% of the time for parties where you could get extended, that's who you're going to be talking to. And you just go up to the birthday mom and say, hey, either the kids wanted really intricate designs or a bunch of extra kids came. I have 2 options. The first is I can do these really simple designs and try to knock the rest out, but some kids might not get some because of the circumstances. My second option is to be extended for half an hour. Let's see. See right here. I'm a actor, so it's $75 per 30 minutes to extend Rapunzel for balloon twisting. Or if you're not an actor, let's see, I'm just a regular artist, so it's $65 to extend me for 30 minutes. And you can just tell the mom that. It's in their invoice. It's the same rate they're paying anyway. And this way, when you ask the mom, I can do quick designs or I can keep going at the extended rate, the decision is on her. Sometimes she's going to be like, no, that's it. Like, I already spent $200. Like, just crank out a bunch of balloon swords and then you can just keep them going. But if she wants to extend, okay, great. So just when you write out the check total, just add the other $65 or $75. So no matter what she says, this is the time that you remind her that she needs to prepare the check for you. Great, so because of whatever you decided, I'm leaving at 2 o'clock. So if you could just do me a favor and bring over the remaining balance a little bit before 2, I have another party to get to, and that way I'm not late to some other kid's party. The life hack here is there's always another party, but we're going to get to that in a second. So now what you've done is you've set yourself up for your remaining 30 or 60 or 90 minutes for success. No matter what, if the kids are like, oh, but I wanted the giant, whatever flamingo you made earlier. I'm sorry, but, I have another party to go to, and the mom said that we're only going to do these designs. That way you're not the bad guy and nobody's going to get mad at you because it wasn't your decision, it was hers. Now here's the thing. If the mom says, nope, just quick designs, whatever, then you got to stick to that. Mom says extension, but only for 30 minutes, you got to stick to that. No matter what the mom says, you got to get out of your party on time. One common problem for new people is that they kind of let the kids and the mom keep pushing, oh, just 5 more minutes, oh, just one more face. It's never 5 more minutes. It's never one more face. It's another line of siblings and cousins and neighbor kids and everybody who showed up from daycare. Even if it only looks like one or two more kids, then the adults start coming, then they always want stuff. So you need to make sure, unless you're getting paid to extend, you're out there on time. If the client stops billing at 2, but you don't get out until 2:45, we're not billing for that time. You can't bill us for that time. It doesn't really work out for you. So there's 2 types of ways you can leave a party late: paid extensions or unpaid time. We want to make money. We don't want to hang out at a kid's party twisting balloons for free. So the next question is, how do you cut a line? If the mom didn't want to extend, if it's a corporate party, that the event's over at 3 but kids are still coming, for whatever reason, you still got to get rid of the rest of your kids in line, or you thought you got rid of everybody in line, and then as you're heading out the door, some mom is like, wait, just cheek art for my child who really needs a SpongeBob just this big, just a little SpongeBob. It's a trap. There is pretty much every party some I'm trying to get out the door trap. So what I do is, again, we have these sheets just so you can say, sorry, this is all I'm doing for your last couple of minutes. Even if there's only 2 kids in line, just picking quick designs can kind of be helpful. If you finish early and you want to give the birthday kid a second thing, that's a great idea. But there's always that person that's like, I just blow up a balloon, he'll be happy with it. Here are the best tips I have for cutting your line. We hire 10 to 12 designs an hour. So let's say you're in your last 30 minutes, there should only be max 6 kids in your line. If you're in your last 15 minutes, there should only be like 3 kids in line. You can do 2 things. If you're face painting, just paint a little star on their hand. If you're balloon twisting, give them a little 5-inch to hold. This holds their place in line, and any kid who doesn't have one of these cannot come to you. This is trickier with big events where there's a couple hundred kids, but I'll get to that in a little bit. If anybody else tries to get into your line, there is a solid excuse, which is, I'm sorry, I have another party to go to, and the mom asked me to leave at this time. So really this is 2 excuses. One, this is somebody else needs something from me, and the mom, the host, whoever it is, wants me to leave. This way it's not on you, because people will try to make you the bad guy when they're frustrated. Think about how frustrated parents are. They're tired. They haven't slept in 7 years. They are just kind of cranky, and they're going to take it out on you. So this is why I always use, I'm sorry, I have another event to go to, and the mom asked me to leave at this time. First off, if they give you any problems, which honestly most parents don't, but if they give you some problems, you can say, I'm sorry, I have a little kid's birthday next, and I'm supposed to be a character, Mickey, princess, whatever. I don't want to ruin their party because Mickey was late to their party. I don't want to ruin some kid's birthday because they asked for a balloon twister and I'm not going to be on time. It takes the blame off you. And there's always another party. If you're leaving one party during the day, it's a birthday party. If you're leaving a party in the evening, I have to go to a nightclub next. I don't care if I'm leaving a party at 11 o'clock at night. Oh, I'm sorry, I have a project graduation that I have to do. I have a nightclub that I have to go paint at. If I'm leaving a nightclub at 2 in the morning and people are trying to get me to stay, I'm sorry, I'm actually working in another state at 9 a.m. So I need to go get 3 hours of sleep before driving up to New Hampshire or New York City or wherever. There's always another party, and if this guest makes you stay late, they're gonna ruin it for somebody else. So now it's not them being mean to you, it's them being selfish. Which if somebody is asking you to work for free, that's what they're doing. The second thing, which is the party mom asked me to leave, is pretty self-explanatory. They're not gonna go be rude to whoever the guest is who's paying for you to be there. For them, it's a free balloon. For the guest, it's a lot of money. And it's faux pas to be rude to the person who just paid for you to eat and drink and for your kids to bounce house and get face painted. Cutting the lines at birthday parties is a little intimate because everybody's been seeing you and talking to you all day. So for me, I think that's always been harder, but most new artists have a harder time cutting the line at a corporate party. So for like a corporate party or like a nonprofit or anything in public, you could have a line, literally, there's 4 of you face painting and you have a line 100 kids long. Well, how do you gauge on that? How do you gauge how much time you need for like 100 kids? Well, if you set your alarm for 30 minutes, it's probably not going to be enough time because you're thinking that's 6 kids per artist that's set up. Your line probably has 10 kids per artist set up. So this is where your Speedy Faces menu comes into play. Theoretically, even new people should be able to do like 15 to 20 of these faces an hour. I can do somewhere between 30 and 50 of these faces an hour. But what you're going to do when your 30-minute alarm goes off is whoever's not in line is not getting painted, absolutely no matter what. If there's several of you at a corporate party, that's going to make your job a lot easier. Because what you need to do is you need to go find somebody who works for the client and say, hey, I just need you to make sure nobody else gets in our line, because if they get in our line, they're not going to get face painted and it's going to be a bad time for them. If nobody's available, hopefully there's multiple of you at the party, and let's say there's 4 face painters, which happens a lot, especially in Eastern Mass. There's 4 face painters. Whoever's the senior most face painter is, or balloon twister or whatever, is theoretically the most adjusted to telling clients, oh no, sorry, like the line is closed. So whoever's the senior most face painter, be painting your kids and just keep popping up like a little gopher and making sure nobody gets in your line as you go. That person, if your line is doing okay, but you think there might be another wave of people, that person can even go and manually block off the line while everybody else paints. You should also tell everybody at the back of your line, anybody who gets in line after you, they're not going to get face painted or balloon twisted. You might want to let them know that. We will come tell them, because it's an awkward spot to put a stranger in, but you should probably also let them know too that this is the end of the line and be the bad guy. The face painter said that they won't paint anybody else. You can also do a star in the hand. You can also give the kids who are last in line a big, 260 and write last in line on it, so they have it, something to make everybody accountable and truthful. But this is why it's important to keep an eye on the time and think 30 minutes before your party ends, like, okay, like I need to wrap this up. If there's a billion kids in your line, then you can even just say, and I've done this a billion times, I'm sorry, everybody's getting a sword because I have to go to the other party and the client said I had to leave. I'm sorry, everybody can either get Rainbow or Batman because I have to get out of here for another party and the client said I had to leave. This honestly is really hard to do at first because you are not used to being the bad guy. You're new to the job, you don't want to screw up, you want the clients to like you want me to like you, but it's important, and once you get good at it, it's not that hard. Okay, so that's parts 1 and 2. 1, 30 minutes before, ask the client if they want an extension if you need it, or just notify the client that you're going to leave soon and you need the check. 2, you got to cut your line somehow so that when it hits, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you're out of there. The third part is the part that usually people think is hardest, but is actually pretty easy, which is asking for the check. All of our clients get an invoice that says, this is what you ordered, this is the time, the date, the place, this is your deposit, and this is what you owe your artist. They're supposed to know to pay cash or check at the event with you. You also have it in your schedule for your own reference that this is how much their deposit was, because sometimes they ask, and this is how much they owe. When you're checking in 30 minutes before your event ends, either asking for an extension or just letting them know that you're leaving soon for like a last call, that's when you should remind them that you need to get paid. There is nothing worse than it's 2 o'clock, like I'm all set, like thanks everyone, and then you have to mill around for 15 minutes while the mom finds her checkbook. They're busy, their friends are here, they've had 3 glasses of wine, they have 10 companies to pay. Just giving them that 30 minutes saves you some annoyance and it also saves them some panicking. So now you've cut your line, you're all wrapped up, you and the client are both happy with the end time. They, in theory, should have brought you the check. If not, go mosey on up to them and just say, I'm all set. Thanks so much for inviting me. Do you have the remaining balance? They know they have to pay it. It's going to feel weird the first time asking somebody for money, but just think of yourself as a cashier. You're not going to be like, oh, that's, whatever, $10.50 at Target and feel weird for asking for money. That's all your job is. So just great. Do you have the remaining balance? And, pull up the schedule on your cell phone because they probably forgot. And then you're good to go. So that's it. That's the hardest stuff. And then the last thing you do when you leave a party is get to your car, pull up your phone, and just send that check-in email to payroll so we can pay you quickly and appropriately, and we don't have to hold up everybody's payroll waiting for your check-in. 4 parts. Ask for extensions or tell them you're about to leave. Cut your line, make sure you're getting out of there smoothly, collect your check, check in with payroll. That's how to end your party. If you have any questions, let me know. But remember, for your first couple of parties, I'm going to be with you the whole time. I'm in the office. I'm in your cell phone. As long as your cell phone is on you, there's no question I can't answer if you just text it to me discreetly under the table.